Hi everyone, thank you for stopping by. In today's video, I will be talking about after the diagnosis. What happens now that you have that official piece of paper stating that your child has autism or some other form of special needs diagnosis. But first, if you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. When videos get uploaded, you will be one of the first people to know. So I remember getting that piece of paper like it was yesterday. Although we were preparing for autism, based on her behaviors and everything, we thought it was autism. And if you haven't checked out my video, my daughter has autism, I will leave the link below. Definitely check that out. After getting that official piece of paper, I hit rock bottom. It was all emotions. It was, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to do anything. You're so overwhelmed. You could be feeling anything from denial to self-blame, blaming yourself. Did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong? It's very, very emotional. It's very, very stressful. There's a range of emotions that you're going through. But guess what? All of these emotions that we're feeling, it is okay. We have to allow ourselves to go through it in order to come out stronger and better on the other side so we can put our shoulders up and start working for our kids. Because at the end of the day, we have to remember that it's not necessarily about us, although we are going through it with our kids, but it is about our kids. We have to come out stronger. We have to be ready to tackle this head on in order to have a better life for our kids. Early intervention is key with the autism diagnosis or any diagnosis. Let me know. Leave a comment below and let us know, where are you on your process with your diagnosis? Have you received your diagnosis? Are you planning? Do you have an appointment set up with your doctor? Let us know where you are. Just leave a comment below. One of the first things I remember doing is writing everything down, because we knew that, okay, so we have a diagnosis and now we're starting to build a team. We need to get people together to help Shayla. We started writing everything down. That also helped us understand her a lot better, understand her behaviors, especially with her triggers. So when she had meltdowns, we needed to know what was causing the meltdown. So right before it happened, we would step back and say, okay, so this is what we were doing. So we would write it down. It's important to document things. It doesn't only help you in your day-to-day, it will help the professionals get to the right tools and techniques to help your child. After the diagnosis, again, what we did, we dove right into research. We were on the internet. Everybody was researching. What now? What do we do? Our doctor did give us a piece of paper with a bunch of resources, but calling these numbers and everything, it was like roadblocks. So we did a lot of research ourselves, therapies and diets and techniques and anything that we can possibly discover about autism, we wanted to. So we put ourselves out there on the World Wide Web, just trying to find anything possible in regards to the autism diagnosis. As well, we searched a lot on funding, because with an autism diagnosis, if you're not wealthy, a lot of everything comes out of pocket, and it's very, very pricey when it comes to special needs diagnosis and dealing with the different therapies. So we did a lot of research on what fundings are available, what funding is available, what resources are available for us, and whether or not we would qualify and can tap into these to help cover some of the costs that we would be incurring. One of the most important things we did not do at first, and I would recommend anybody to do it, is building a team, not just a team of professionals, but building a team of community members who've gone through the same thing, who have had a diagnosis before, who's probably been dealing with it a lot longer than you. Word of mouth was a game changer for us, because it was all so new for us and our family. Although we had a team of family members behind us, they didn't know anything. Nobody had experienced autism before. Shayla is the first kid in our family to be diagnosed with autism. She's the only one in our family to be diagnosed with autism. So we didn't have that word of mouth. We didn't have that hands-on experience of talking to people or people who've gone through it to see their results and so on and so forth. We never had that. And that was one of the biggest mistakes. We did not seek that first. And hence the reason why we started Shayla's Voice. Shayla's Voice is a community of parents using resources, and they leave their reviews on our website. So having that word of mouth experience from people in the community, once we started to dive into that community, dive into the community of like going out to different groups and meetups and stuff like that of people who are dealing with their diagnosis, having that network, that was one of the best things ever, because the sense of community, one thing I have to say, the autism community, they stick together and they love each other, and we look out for each other's kids. So definitely tap into that community if you have one. There are meetups, there's groups on Facebook, there's a number of different opportunities just to get into that network. I would highly recommend it. We did not do it at first and we struggled a lot. So that's one of the first things that I would recommend that anybody does. When we started building Shayla's team, one thing we made sure of is that everybody was involved and everybody was on the same page, from PT to OT to speech to ABA, nutritionist. Everybody was on the same page, even the school, right? Because you need to ensure that there's consistency across the board, and we need to know what everyone's doing so that we can continue to maintain that consistency. So for example, with all the therapists, the speech, PT, OT, ABA, everybody, at the beginning of each school year, I would set up a meeting with the school. Let's sit down, let's all get on the same page as to what we're working on. Even with our IEP, when it's that IEP time, everybody sits down and we go through the IEP step by step, and then we ensure that everybody's working on the same thing. I mean, at school, they're not the OTs, the PTs, the ABA therapists, but a lot of the things that they do in these therapies, we can carry over in school. School has a gym, so why not do OT and PT stuff in gym time, right? During her activities, you can incorporate her ABA stuff. So it's very important that everybody's on the same page. Everybody's working at the same goals. What I did, and I failed her a lot, I think, personally, is, for example, with feeding in school, Shayla actually sits at her desk and she feeds herself her lunch, she feeds herself her snack. And at home, because I'm always moving, I'm always busy, I tend to give her lunch, I tend to give her snack, I feed her, right? Because I want to avoid the mess and I want to get things done. But that's taking a step back, because at school she's progressing, she's doing everything on her own, and at home I'm doing it for her. So that's one of the reasons why we need to all make sure that we're on the same page and getting things done the right way for our kids. We want the best for them, and the team that we've put together is in place to build that best for them, to give them that best. So definitely we have to work together. So highly recommend, get your team together and make sure that everybody sits down together and comes up with a plan. One of the most important things you can do is find the right fit for your child. Find the right individuals. When you're building that team, you need to find people that you can trust. If your child doesn't like somebody, if you don't like somebody, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your child's time, you're not going to get anywhere. And bottom line is you're paying money. So you need the best of the best. So find the right people. I can't stress that enough. You need the right individuals for your team. Interview a bunch of people. Try a bunch of different service providers. It's your money. It's your child. Do what you have to do to find that right team, the best fit for your child. I remember one experience that we had with Shayla. We had an ABA therapist come to the house, and one day I'm at the door bringing her a snack, and I'm knocking at the door and I'm calling out her name, and she's not responding. When I opened up the door, she has headphones in and Shayla's just roaming. And I'm paying you to be here to give my child a service. So it's so important that we find the right people, the right individuals to work with our kids. It goes a long way, trust me. Another thing that is 100% recommended, and I'm guilty of not doing it all the time, is self-care. We have kids who have special needs. They're very active. They're very different. Their behaviors can be very challenging and very draining, very emotional. We have to take the time to care for ourselves. We have to take that moment. We have to walk away sometimes. I know that it's easier said than done, because sometimes we feel so guilty. Me personally, I feel guilty when I have to say, oh, to my mom, maybe, can you take care of Shayla? Or to Sean, I just need a minute. I just need to walk away. We feel guilty, but it's so important, because if we don't have anything in us to pour out to our kids, how can we take care of them? So we have to replenish. We have to breathe. We have to self-care any which way you can. A walk, a drive, a drink, any which way you can. We have to take care of ourselves, because in order for our kids to succeed and to strive and to be the best that they can be, we have to be the best that we can be. Well, thank you for watching, and we hope that this video was somewhat informative, that you learned something. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about it, and let me know what you do with your team. If you haven't already done so, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. When a video gets populated on our YouTube channel, you will be one of the first people to know. We will see you soon. Take care.